called me a couple times and he kept putting it off and, you know, he makes his own mind up.
It's not so easy to do.
Not for him, he's very.
So maybe he'll call now.
Right, it's not so easy to do, but if I can say this, you can talk about your comrades.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you saw, because remember, the next generation won't remember unless you tell them. And it's important that they do remember.
Just how odd to be in a doctor's waiting room and strike up a conversation with Bud Fisher.
I think God
Never
was at
met
work
him.
there, so boy,
Of
that's a
course.
strong message.
Of course.
You bet.
Of
Now,
course.
does anyone in the press have a question?
How often do we find soldiers like Horace who never received the medals? How common is this?
I don't know the percentage, but it is quite significant, depending on the conflict also, and the circumstances of the veteran. Sometimes it's a perplexing situation, and some usually choose to do it later if they haven't already received their medals. This one was unusual because he never received some of the medals that he was due. I don't know why that happened, but I think after World War II, they tell me what happened was the soldiers were so happy to come home. When they came back, they just ran back to wherever they came from, and they're lucky they even signed their name. Many of them didn't get benefits sometimes because they didn't sign on the dotted line, and many never received their medals. So, and people, you know, they moved to other states, they just didn't stay in touch. They wanted to shut that door and move on with their lives. So, I just had a situation with a veteran from Vietnam who's a Purple Heart recipient, and,
Well, Purple Heart, you can get stuff from the government. I can't get nothing because I didn't get one.
right.
I can't get nothing, but I haven't got nothing from the government.
Is there an agency that people can contact if they have loved ones who fought in other conflicts that they might feel they have medals?
Oh, yes.
Is there an- who do
Oh,
we
yes.
contact?
Well, usually they get in touch with their member of Congress, and then we work with the Department of Defense, in this case, the Adjutant General's Office for the Army, and we attempt to get the records traced and restored. And one of the problems for our area is just what you stated, that in St. Louis, a number of the records that existed for soldiers from our area were destroyed by fire. And therefore, it's sometimes hard to reconstruct what happened. And so for Ohio veterans and for veterans from this region, we've had many that we've had to reconstruct the records to even prove that they served, because those records are, not non-existent. So how unusual is it? I'd say, I don't know, 10%, 15% may not have their medals. And also over the years, we've added medals for former conflicts, and sometimes veterans don't know, like the Iraqi service medal, they don't know that they're owed those medals. So you try to do the best you can. They can go into any post in Toledo, any veterans post, doesn't matter, they don't have to be a member, and they'll usually call us, but I mean, that's another place that you can go. They can report to our veterans clinic down on Detroit at Arlington, and there are people there who can direct them as well. There are service officers there. So there's different ways. We have a Lucas County Veteran Service Commission in the downtown. We hope they'll eventually move out to the clinic space, and we can have all of our veteran services combined. But it's not a perfect system, and many of our veterans do not have all the medals that they're due. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming. I'll allow you to speak with the family and with Mr. Appleby.
Other pictures of Horace.
Okay. Yay!
Tell him he didn't make it to his, or I would do it for him.
Well, what a grand niece you are.
What a grand uncle I am.
Right. So, did they confiscate your rifle when you came home?
I didn't have one.
You didn't have one.
I had to leave.
You had to leave it. Did it work?
I could see a copy of the thing on for the interviewer, and they get done. Oh, looks like it's 13. It must be
That's
12
really
with this one
something
here.
about going to Dachau. That's
24, 11, and 13. Looks like
that-
36 here. 11, 24, 36. Huh? Yeah, we got it all on tape there. I think most of it. I dropped it just about one time. Back on the floor. I grabbed.
Well, they quit for a while. I
Yeah,
don't know what point.
whatever. They said about 20 minutes maybe.
I don't know, but the card that I have in there, the memory card,
Yeah.
wasn't enough memory on
Oh,
it.
I heard a plank, you know. I thought, well, I'll just keep it there in case it was going.
So I changed it over to the internal memory.
Okay, but you may only lost 2 or 3 minutes.